牛丼とカツ丼と天丼とあと砂肝ください。わお、飯食って飯食って飯食って砂肝。
Hello?
Hello everybody, this is Ethercord here, and welcome to my newest video for today. For today's video, I'm going to let you guys know beforehand that I'm going to be giving a retelling of my past experience within the Discord server that I've been running for the past 2 to 3 years. The reason that I'm doing this is because today's topic is going to be on the issue of kind of the problem with furry Discord servers, including my own. That's why I'm going to be mentioning it and giving my experience with it today. The reason I'm going to be covering this today is because as time goes by within the furry community and kind of seeing the more kind of not so perfect sides of the fandom, the Discord servers that are involved with a lot of furry YouTubers or a lot of furry related like
There's like JoJo. British Bizarre Adventure is a series of frequently referenced philosophical strips. It started out with some British guy trying to kill his evil adopted brother that's also a vampire. And now the animated adaptation of said scripture is up to 5 of the series, where the son of the British guy and his adopted brother is also a vampire. Team up with a bunch of funky twins with ghost Pokemon to try and beat the Italian mafioso to stop
So you are gay.
What?
What?
I'm not even fucking listening, JJ. What do you not get about half the time? If you hear something in the background, I'm not watching.
Time and leap past it.
Well, you should be listening to your father, not your
Not
gay.
anything about the character or the story. I'm just interested in the ability of King Crimson. Because in all honesty, he is
God, I know you don't
my
like being gay, but I gotta deal with it.
Best Digimon of the entire series. What is my favorite, you may ask?
Well, I'm doing the server.
It's forward now.
Well, I'll join in a second.
Well, I said it's forward now. I'm gonna tell you what's over you.
Pishy, 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 pishy.
ちょっとだけ相手をしてやるか。これは試練だ。ちょっとだけ相手をしてやるか。
Hello everyone, X-Forts here, and welcome to another JoJo's Bizarre Adventure discussion video. Today we are going to compare 2 main antagonists from the series, Part 3, Stardust Crusaders, Dio in all capital letters, and Part 5, Bento Arreo's Diavolo, to see who has the greater stand. Both of these characters are often compared to each other because of their striking similarities. Throughout most of their story arcs, they were hidden in shadows while sending waves of stand users at the opposing protagonist, trying to eliminate a bloodline, eventually having each part climax in a final battle between our heroes, and a stand with time manipulation abilities. Dio and Diavolo do have many similarities, but at the same time are very different characters. Taking a look at these characters' personalities, first up we have Dio, a selfish, sadistic, egotistical sociopath, referred to in the series as evil incarnate. He's also a vampire and has an obsession with power and immortality and possesses the stand, the world. As for Diavolo, we have a proudful mob boss, the leader of Passion, with a ruthless and brutal will to keep his past and identity a secret. Diavolo also
Where's your shirt at?
has an extreme case of schizophrenia, otherwise known as dual personality disorder, sharing his body with Doppio, a friendly, honest, good-natured teenager with an extreme loyalty to Diavolo. This disorder is so bad, his actual body will change with his personality. Diavolo is also one of the most psychologically damaged characters in JoJo's. With his false sense of superiority, he believes that all of his luck is fate choosing him, and that all of his difficulties are fate testing him, and he will have to overcome and prove himself. Diavolo legitimately believes that he will lead Passion forever and that he is immortal. Diavolo Diablo's stand is King Crimson. For this discussion, we're mainly going to be focusing on Dio and Diablo's stands, the world, and King Crimson. Both of these stands have to do with time manipulation and are some of the strongest stands in JoJo's. The goal of this video is to decide which stand is not only stronger, but just overall better in general, and is more absolute. We will be analyzing both of these stands, looking at their different abilities, powers, and also their statistics. And then once we've looked at both of them, we'll be able to compare, and then make a conclusion on which stand is greater. Starting off, the first stand we'll be looking at is the world. The world's user is Dio Brando. It is an extremely powerful close-range stand, very similar to Star Platinum. It has super strength, super sense, and super speed. Effective manifested range at only 10 meters, requiring a close distance to inflict damage. The world's main offensive attack is a barrage of extremely fast punches and kicks, almost identical to Star Platinum's Aurora, but instead shouting muda muda muda. The world's strength and speed may actually be faster than Star Platinum's. Jotaro and Dio's final battle, although Jotaro did defeat Dio, there was a point in the battle where the world actually bested Star Platinum in a deadlock with rapid attacks and strength and speed. Besides super strength, senses, and speed, the world's main ability is Time Stop, allowing only itself and Dio to move within the duration of stop time. The world's maximum limit to Time Stop was 9 seconds. The limit would have continued to grow if Dio would not have died. The only true counter to Time Stop is another Time Stop ability, as seen by Jotaro. The world's stats are an A in destructive power, A in speed, C in range, A in durability, B in precision, and B in learning potential or development. Moving on, we have King Crimson. The stand user is Diablo, and his ability is erasing time rather than stopping time. King Crimson's ability is one of the most convoluted, confusing, and unelaborated stand abilities in the whole series, and it doesn't help that Part 5 has very poor translations. King Crimson's ability has spawned the infamous meme "It just works," and also people trying to describe it with this sort of imagery. King Crimson's ability is actually relatively simple. It just seems that everyone overcomplicates it with explanations like this. So after doing research and seeing other people's interpretations of King Crimson's ability, I found someone who actually has a great explanation and also does a very good job at defining the ability as well as simplifying it. So big thank you to the Reddit user Candid Camera for providing this explanation. Now we will go over that explanation in a little bit more detail and finally talk about how King Crimson works. So we all know Diablo's stand is King Crimson, but he also has another ability that people label as a sub-stand called Epitaph. This ability, Epitaph, allows Diablo to see 10 seconds into the future by creating images in the veins of his hair. When King Crimson activates, everyone but Diablo blindly acts out whatever actions Epitaph predicted. And as they act out the prediction, they're essentially unconscious and they cannot react to whatever Diablo does. As for Diablo, he is not forced to follow his own prediction. He can move freely while everyone else is essentially sleeping slaves. This gives Diablo the ability to move out of the way of attacks and also set up counterattacks and put himself at an advantage via his position. Diablo cannot interact or attack anyone while their prediction is coming into fruition. When people describe King Crimson's ability, they fixate a lot on the term of erasing time, where really time being erased is just a metaphor for the fact that nobody remembers what happened during King Crimson's effect. So I really think that King Crimson's ability can be described perfectly without even using the term erasing time at all. As for what it would be like to actually fight against King Crimson, essentially it would just be a complete mindfuck. So if you're Diablo's opponent and you have no idea how his ability works and you're running at him, charging up your fist, ready to punch, before you know it, as soon as King Crimson activates, you will already follow through with your punch and you would have no idea how you got into the position that you're in, and your mind would just be rambling, and before you know it, you'll have a King Crimson judo chop to the back of your head. Or in Bucciolati's case, you'll have a King Crimson fist through your abdomen. Onto its stand stats, King Crimson has an A in destructive power, A in speed, E in range, E in durability, precision unknown, as well as development potential unknown as well. And that pretty much wraps up King Crimson's analysis. I hope that wasn't too confusing for you guys and it gave you a better understanding on how King Crimson's ability works. Finally, we have analyzed both of these stands, and now that we have a greater understanding of what they can do, we can go ahead and compare them. Dio and Diablo's stands, through translations, do sound very similar. One can stop time, one can erase time. They can do this for almost exactly the same amount of time. To the users, Dio and Diablo, their stands are very unique and very different. The way they perceive perceive them to work, but to an opponent, they would seem almost identical when battling. For example, let's say Josuke encountered Dio and Diavolo on 2 separate occasions. And during Josuke's encounter, he experienced the effects of both of these stands, but was not attacked physically by Dio or Diavolo during, before, or after the effects of their stands took place. To Josuke, these stands would seem extremely similar, as Dio and Diavolo would just be teleporting or having extremely fast speed before his eyes. The only difference is that after King Crimson's effect, Josuke would be confused because he wouldn't be in the same position that he started in. So when comparing these stands in a one-on-one encounter with an enemy, they're almost identical. On Dio's case, he's going to kill the opponent while time is stopped, and once time resumes, they're immediately going to be dead. In Diavolo's case, he will set up the perfect counterattack and then attack the enemy while they are confused and disoriented, after all their movements have been predicted. And either way, both of these stands are invincible in a one-on-one encounter. Unless, you know, JoJo or Gold Experience Requiem. If we look at the drawbacks and flaws of these stands, you'll really see where the world pulls ahead of King Crimson. King Crimson needs an extremely close range to activate his ability, and also requires an extreme amount of stamina. And when Diavolo's stamina gets low, he is not able to use King Crimson to the fullest of its ability. On the other hand, the world only has a short cooldown period and is much more spammable than King Crimson. Another drawback to King Crimson is his inability to take out multiple enemies at once. With King Crimson's ability, he can predict people's movements, but he will only be able to set up a counterattack to one opponent. Although it could be possible that he puts himself in a situation where he would be able to counterattack both opponents at once, but depending on the distance of the enemies, that could be very unlikely. When on the other hand, the world has a 9-second period to really just do whatever he wants. He could go up to multiple opponents and just rip their heads off if he wanted to. He never did that, but he definitely could have. I mean, if Dio's capable of grabbing a steamroller and then throwing it into Jotaro within time stop, imagine what he can do if he had 5 opponents just right in front of him. Both of these stands have very absolute powers, the world being able to completely stop time, and King Crimson being able to see the absolute future. But in conclusion, and in my opinion, I would have to say that the world is a superior stand. I couldn't think of a situation where I would rather want King Crimson over the world. Unless I was going up against another time stop ability, or I needed to see what my opponent was going to do before I killed them. And when it comes to a time stop ability against King Crimson, I would just assume that whoever uses their ability first would be the victor. But I think that discussion would just have way too much speculation involved. So, that was Dio versus Diavolo, a comparison to see which stand is greater in my opinion. Not a death match, like I said, if we were to pit Dio versus Diavolo, there would be a lot of speculation, and I think it would come down to whoever used their ability first. So thank you guys for watching this video, and let me know what stand you think is greater and why. Don't forget guys, that's just my opinion, and I personally believe that the world is a greater stand. If you disagree, I would love to continue the discussion down below in the comments. Be sure to like the video.
I was originally going to call this video Ranking JoJo Moms, but which video are you clicking on? Ranking JoJo Moms or Ranking JoJo MILFs? I know you sexually repressed weebs are going to click the video with the word MILF every time. Also, literally everybody in JoJo is fuckable, so therefore if you're a mom in JoJo, you're a MILF. Literally every character Araki has drawn is sexy, except for a handful of other characters. I'm looking at you, Pesci, looking like an uncircumcised penis with fungus growing on the tip. I came to this conclusion that JoJo is fuckable, so therefore if you're a mom in JoJo, you're a MILF. Literally every character Araki has drawn is sexy, except for a handful of other characters. I'm looking at you, Pesci, looking like an uncircumcised penis with fungus growing on the tip. I came to this JoJo is fuckable, so therefore if you're a mom in JoJo, you're a MILF. Literally every character Araki.
The return of Killer Bee is made possible by all of the incredible fans who bought Killer Bee merch. If you would like to support the new Killer
Yo, this stuff is actually pretty good.
Drop him a hole right through your car.
You wouldn't do that to a perfectly good car, would you?
I did it to my mom's car. I'll do the same thing to yours.
You shot a hole through your mom's car?
Yeah.
What kind of son are you?
Hey, you don't know what it's like to live with my mom. Always nagging me, trying to get me to move out.
You still live with your mom?
Whoa, okay, look. I'm doing the side missions. I'm saving up money. I'm gonna move out with... Hey, you know what? Why don't you shut up?
Look, I get it. Life is stressful. Everybody needs a break once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give you a break. Do you like my car?
Wait, what?
Do you like my car?
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Well, you can have it.
Are you trying to mess with me? I'll shoot your car, Killer Bean. I'll do it.
It's not a trick. I can tell you're going through some personal issues. Just take the car. It's not a big deal. I can always get another one.
You really give me your car?
I may be known as Killer Bee, but I'm also sometimes known as Compassionate Bee.
I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. Here, just take the keys. Enjoy the ride.
No, what? This is gonna be so awesome. Where are the keys?
Did you enjoy the ride?
No!
I did.
Luck has sighted Yoshikage Kira. Luck has sided with Yoshikage Kira. Luck has sided with Yoshikage Kira.
All right, Mr. Kira. We have 3 doors here. Behind 2 of them are goats, and behind one lies the grand prize. Which will you choose? Door number 1 it is. Now, door number 3 has been opened to reveal a goat. Do you want to pick door number 2, or would you like to...
That was you that knocked that towel from the floor in the bathroom. That big sound. It had to be, bro.
You always blame me for
Yo,
stuff.
come on, man.
You blame me for everything.
You just want to leave it there overnight, right? What else you got here, bro?
You.
Take this out of here. I'm gonna put it over here so you can take it out of here. I'm gonna put it.
Okay.
Stick to your initial choice.
Come on, Trump.
Switch.
This one looks like... Sorry, this is some son Joseph. This one looks like Patrick. Are you watching this?
JJ, mother, is the server full? Please tell me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You gotta be fucking me. You're telling me streaming JoJo would be better? God damn. Remember that time when there was 11 people in the server?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hold up.